So let me start with congratulations on the movie. I'm sure it's a very tough day doing press today. Very tough.
Man, it's always good. It's always good to see you, man. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean, though. But anyway, so I got a ton of things to talk to you about.
Okay.
Throwing some curveballs at the beginning. If
Sure.
someone has never seen anything that you've done, what do you want them to watch first?
Man, I don't know. That is a good question. I don't know. I mean, listen, I don't know. I think maybe I sort of know where you're kind of going with this because I know this one's different. I think for me, I'm so like I'm just so proud of this film. I'm so proud of being a part of it. I'm so proud of everybody in it, and I'm so proud of the way that this movie was made. It was just really, you felt like it was something special and righteous and familial and full of grace, all the way through. I really, it sounds so, I'm just so grateful that I'm a part of it. So I guess the answer is I want them to see this, not for
Sure.
me, not just for Will or Aunjanue or Demi or, just for the film, for what this movie means, for what it stands for. This sort of like meditation of on the power of family. I think we all need to see it, and I'm really proud and grateful I get to be a part of it.
If I'm not mistaken, did I meet your dog last time we spoke? I don't remember.
Probably. I mean, I have a bunch of dogs, but
there we go.
See him in there? Yeah, that's me. Yeah, we're in Baltimore right now shooting, so he's sleeping. He's working hard.
Ready. 100%. You have been known, I've heard that you can go, and I don't know how method you actually go, but I've heard you can go pretty intense into a role. I'm curious, what's like the deepest you've gone where someone maybe pulled you aside and said, you can pull it back like a touch? Has that ever happened?
I think, there was an incident, I think years ago, years ago when I was young, there was an incident where, I was playing a police officer and I saw a woman, somebody stole a purse off of a woman. And I actually chased the guy down and claimed to be a police officer and got the purse back. That was a crazy story. And I think I told myself while I was, holding the guy and waiting for the real police to come that I had gone too far. I think that word has been so sort of like kind of misconstrued and misunderstood. I mean, look, I think, again, I think you and I have talked about this before, what we do, all these wonderful artists and wonderful technicians, get together on a film, before, during, and after principal photography, to try to craft just these few seconds between action and cut and try to make them the most raw, the most alive, the most electric, the most honest they can possibly be. So, I think that we have a duty, to really honor those seconds. And for me, I think sometimes it is quite difficult to just sort of turn that on. And so this idea, I don't know that method acting means staying in character. I think that that's what people sort of assume that it means. But in that, I think sometimes it is very important, to really have really good control and over sort of your proximity towards the time that you're going to be spending those sacred seconds between action and cut. But, look, for this film, doing extensive, tennis training and dialect work and research, if that's method acting, learning how to play tennis and actually training people in tennis and working with tennis players, working with tennis coaches, I want to be a method actor all day. I think, understanding sort of the trade of the character you play, but then also trying to kind of like dive into the heart, into the emotionality. It's all kind of part of the deal. I think what made this one so special is that there was something alive and electric and real that was going on inside on this set. among everybody, among the entire cast and crew, where everybody sort of stayed in it. Because I think it was a really wonderful place to be. Again, this word family, I think it exudes. It's the kind of director Ray is. It's the kind of man Will is. Everybody's families were present. It's the only word that I think keeps coming up over and over again when I think of this film. It's just family, and it was just, that set was a beautiful, wonderful place to be, and I think it shows in the film.
Totally, 100%. Will is obviously a very talented actor, and he is fantastic in this movie. I am curious because I know that he stayed with that voice and sort of in character in between takes, and he really went for it in this movie, and it shows. What is it like for you? Did you guys ever go to lunch together and you're maintaining that accent? He's maintaining his accent. You're almost in character while getting food.
Absolutely. I mean, all the time, it was great to kind of, when you have a partner to do that with, it's wonderful. And it was really, we're just trying to make each other laugh. And I don't think we even consciously are like, wink, wink, hey, let's just stay sort of in character here. It's just, that's how we sort of spoke to each other. And we were constantly trying, playing games and really trying to make the girls laugh. I mean, coming out of my trailer, with my short shorts and my hair and my mustache, making, if those young ladies were laughing at me, I knew sort of that we were in the right pocket. So I just wanted to keep that. I didn't care whether they were laughing at me or with me. I just wanted to kind of keep them laughing. And I think the same was sort of true with Will and I. And really it was, it was sort of seamless, the transition between, action and cut and just sort of living life and then going in. We just would sort of meet up and our banter would kind of begin, and we would just sort of take it forward. And when you have sort of a collective group kind of participating in that kind of ensemble acting, again, it's really the way I love to work. And that it's not a pronounced conscious decision. It's just how everybody's sort of going about it. And that's how it was there. And again, it's just really a credit to the ensemble as a whole and the atmosphere that Ray created.
100%. This story, if someone had written a script of this story, they would be like thrown out of the room because it's so far-fetched and so unbelievable. When you were researching everything about this story, what were some of the things that you read that you're like, this can't be true, that's not true, oh wait, that's actually true?
Look, I think the entire idea of sort of saying, hey, this is what is going to happen. This is all part of my plan. Saying that plan, willing that plan to come true, is such a beautiful, I think, sort of sort of meditation, I think, on parenthood, and doing it in a way that it's not that I'm telling you this has to be. I'm not telling you that I want this to be. I'm not telling you that I need it to be. I'm just telling you this is what's going to come about, and this is how special you are, and it's not about arriving anywhere. It's not about one day you will be this. It's behave this way, carry yourself like the champion you are, because you are a champion. And I think it's a beautiful thing to put, to sort of give to our kids. Look, I think that one of the moments in the movie that I just, I just think is so beautiful is the moment with Serena, when everything sort of at the height of sort of Venus's, pro debut, and Serena, in such a human way is saying, well, what about me? What about me? And her dad says, well, you're not gonna just, win Wimbledon. You're gonna be the best in the world. You're gonna be the best of all time, and that, I think that comment, that I was like, there's no way that actually happened. No way that he just it was all part of this sort of plan. And that it's such a beautiful kind of just parenting moment. So that I think that's the one that I would pick.
Richard videotaped everything or had so much video. Were you able to watch any of like the raw video? And did that help you with getting ready for the role?
Yeah, we had a great sort of archival team, sort of constantly, showing us stuff. It did, it definitely did. But I think also just with Rick, I mean, there's so much for me. There's so much stuff out there about him, and the tennis community is pretty small. And I talked to so many players, including Serena, who played for him and played at that academy, and told me sort of what that academy was like and what these Macyisms were like. And if you just go onto his Instagram, you can see it's constant gamemanship, it's constant fun, it's constant these sayings, and he doesn't mind. He's such a strong, fierce, committed competitor, but he's also doesn't mind being the butt of a joke. He doesn't mind. The kid. It is so clear that his players and these kids come before him. There's no bravado. There's no trying to be cool. He doesn't mind being a jester. He doesn't mind clowning for these kids. But he also demands. He demands positivity at all times, and it's really beautiful. And I think playing sort of this buoy. In the sort of like river that they were on, this important buoy. It was just, what an honor, and I just really wanted to capture that positivity, and I think above all else, just a real love and reverence for these young women and for this family, that he had.
Because I'm going to run out of time with you soon, I just want to ask you a few other things. Are you still doing American Gigolo? Is that still on the horizon?
Yeah, so I'm finishing up in Baltimore here in the next couple of weeks, and then we're moving on to the series. I think in the beginning of the year we'll begin.
And so you guys shot a pilot for that, or you didn't?
Yeah, we shot a pilot. When was it? We shot a pilot some time ago, right. and then I've been here in Baltimore shooting this HBO miniseries with Ray and David Simon, George Paul Cohen, and so now
I was going to say I'm about to. Oh, sorry, I was going to be like I'm about to get to that because David Simon. What with American Gigolo? What was it about this material that said I want to do this?
Look, man, that was it's a good question. If I'm being completely honest, this was something that I kind of went into, with probably more trepidation and hesitancy than any other project that I've sort of joined, become a part of. Really it was David Hollander. He was the showrunner on Ray Donovan, and he really came to me with this script, and I didn't really, in all honesty, have real a burning desire to sort of tell this story. I didn't really understand kind of why we wanted to tell this story, but then I dug in with him, and what he promised me was real collaboration and a real deep dive. And what I found with working with him and sort of examining this character and examining kind of the trauma and the victimhood of this sort of masculine man, and portraying him as a victim, it scared me. It really terrified me. And I thought it started to be, I am afraid to do this. It wasn't that I can't do this or I don't want to do this. I really got in touch with the fact that it just scared the daylights out of me. And I've always said in art that, the things that terrify you are the things you got to run at, full speed. And you got to go to that. That's where you'll grow. That's where you'll discover different parts of yourself. That's where, being terrified is good in art, I think. And so ultimately that's why I made the decision, and it's I'm still terrified, and I'm glad, I'm glad.
I'm already out of time. I'm just going to say that I am a huge David Simon fan, and I could not be more excited for We Own the City. And we'll hopefully talk about it once, next year when it's going to come out.
Right on, man. Yeah, I hope you dig it, man. We're digging in hard, and hopefully you'll like what we're cooking up.
David Simon in Baltimore. I'm pretty confident it's going to be good.
Right on, man.
Thank you so much, man. And listen, wish you nothing but the best.
All right, it's always good to see you, Steve.